Welcome to the Yes Show, Young, Entertaining, and Saved, where we highlight Christians in the entertainment business that are using their talent to glorify God. Today is all about acting out. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I love acting, so I brought a guest here who is beautiful, young, and talented. She's an actress, and she's here to grace the screen, Candice Lenoir. Before we get to her, I have to tell you guys when I first fell in love with acting. Now, it was my major in college, theater education, at Florida A&M University. And it brought me so much joy that I actually moved all the way from Florida in pursuit of my dream. Now, when I fell in love, it was actually from a play, Dearly Departed, at FAMU, Essential Theater. And I saw this play and I knew that this is what I wanted to do. So I told the lead actor, Charles, I said, hey, you were wonderful. He said, well, go talk to the director if you don't have a major. I did, and theater education became my major. I taught for 7 years teaching theater, teaching some English, but I always came back to acting. I love it, as well as most of my friends and the company that I keep. I love acting. So today we're going to talk about acting out. But before we even get to Candice, before we even get to her interview, we're going to take a look at a video, all right? And this video is by a wonderful, wonderful young man. You have to watch it. I can't even let you know what it is. Just enjoy. But you will recognize a familiar face when you watch it. Enjoy our video of the day.
I was down until I got tired and got up. I was broken until I got to the potter. I was alone, no one could help me out. I was empty and dry until the rain fell down. So where do we go from here? Lost in the middle of nowhere, close to home. And I can hear your voice so clear, saying come to where you are. So I'm running, 'cause I need living water. I'm coming back to the well where we first met. 'Cause I need living water. Pour yourself in me, 'cause you are all I need. Living water. Moving fast through life, trying to be the best I can outside, while forgetting what I need to last. This time, would you lead me and hold my hand? So where do we go from here? Caught in the middle of somewhere close to home, and I can hear your voice so clear, saying come here where you are. So I'm running, 'cause I need living water. I'm going back to the place where we first met. 'Cause I need living water. Pour yourself in me, yeah. I need living water. I'm going back living water.
That was beautiful. That was Travis Greene, Living Water. And I'm sure if you guys didn't know this, but that was Kel Mitchell from Nickelodeon. You guys remember it? He's an actor, and he is acting it out for Christ. So today is about acting, and to talk about that, I have Robert C. Mitchell to discuss acting out when Christianity not really goes wrong, but it's like a he say, she say segment. All right? So welcome, He Say, She Say with Robert C. Mitchell.
Hello, LaCora. How are you doing?
I'm
Beautiful.
good.
You look nice today.
Well, thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. And you look all right. No, you look nice. You look very handsome, Robert.
You do this all the time.
I'm sorry.
But it's okay.
You look very nice.
Well, thank you so much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Now, Robert, I'm not sure if you got a chance to see the new reality sensation, the Sisterhood on TLC. I wanted to name this When Christianity Goes Wrong, but instead I had to make this a he say, she say, because I want to know what's in your mind.
Right.
And I have to say what's in my mind. Okay? So this is acting, or is it acting? I don't know what it is, but it's on television, so we're going to talk about it. So you guys, if you don't know what it is, take a look at this clip, The Sisterhood.
A first lady has to appear perfect because she sets the standard for the congregation.
What if you pull back the curtain and see us for who we truly are? You'd be shocked.
Oh my.
Preachers' wives can run from very conservative
One of the things you'll learn about me is I'm kingdom.
to very radical.
Tell the devil he's a liar. What is wrong with you?
You do breast implants too?
I have a lot of skeletons from my past.
This was the house where I smoked my first crack pipe at.
It's a lot people don't know about me.
Better watch yourself, girl.
People don't expect a preacher and a preacher's wife to have a good sex life.
I had sex and I got diseases.
It's very difficult to be a first lady. Very difficult.
First ladies generally disagree on a whole lot of things.
I don't need you to quote scriptures to me. I know the
Thank
word.
you.
The only thing we agree on is that we all love God.
I love you.
Everything else is up for chance. If you don't want to support me, then don't go.
You're gonna do it your way. I'm gonna do it my way.
I've never asked you for anything. I'm just done.
Whether you need me to say I feel your pain, I'm so sorry, God will connect me to the women that can stand when all hell is breaking loose.
Well, Christianity gone wrong, or the reality of the church. Now, Robert, that's The Sisterhood, a reality show exploring the lives of first ladies in the church. What do you think?
Well, it was very interesting, and I did get a chance to watch 2 of the episodes
So did I.
that's there, and it was very interesting because it did give a real look into the real lives, because I'm one that believes when the music stops and everybody goes home, there's a whole nother story that plays out at home. But a lot of times, you know, pastors are, you know, ones that are behind the pulpit, they come up and they portray another story. So I'm real about that. However, I still believe that there is some obligation and there's some accountability with certain things. And what this show is very interesting because a few of the wives I have some issues with. So,
Okay, and
yes.
and I would agree. Watching YouTube, I noticed that one person's comment said, "This is exactly why I left Christianity," and I was like, "Woo, that's
Yeah,
a lot."
that was deep.
That's pretty deep,
Yes.
because some folks say that it has made a mockery of the church, and you said that you have a problem with a few of the not housewives, but pastors' wives.
We can call them housewives.
Yeah, you know, they housewives. I don't know the difference. To be honest, looking at the show, I can't see the difference.
Right.
I mean, talking about breast implants. They were talking about getting tattoos. You know, it was just.
But you know, but wait a minute, because again, that's where we probably differ a little bit. Some of the things you named, like getting a tattoo, I understand that there's always been a kind of taboo thing
Right.
or within the church, but I don't know how I feel about that. But the gossip, I don't like that spirit that I've
Okay.
seen in there, you know, and I feel like we should have the fruits of the spirits as Christians, and I think that in this, you really can't tell the difference.
Well, who did you have a problem with? You said they were gossiping. Who are the, you said even one point we had a discussion and you said you felt like one, she should have been rebuked by Tara, who I feel is a real Christian. I don't think she's a fanatic.
Well, you know, I don't know the names. I'm still watching the show.
Okay.
But what I will say is, yes, Tara, but if you remember, I gave you two sides because Tara, I can see where she kind of hits that line of a little overly radical. However, being a Christian, I do believe that there's a certain talk, a certain spirit about you, a certain energy. And for one of the young ladies to get upset because she makes reference to scriptures when she's talking about a conversation, yeah, that's kind of like, no, that means that you just don't want to be accountable for the things that you're doing.
Right.
So somebody like this doesn't appeal to you. Almost like a parent talking to a child. It's not that the parent, what they're saying is wrong, but the child is so rebellious, you know, they feel it's wrong.
I hear what you're saying, and you also said, you know, demonic. They even got on her because she listens to Christian rap. It's crazy.
Right.
How can you get upset with a Christian, with a first lady, for listening to Christian rap music? You don't have to listen to T.I.
But what I also did said is that I felt like the pastor should have demonstrated by saying that it's not that I'm not for Christian rap. However, when I'm with my wife, if I want to hear a little Luther, that still is okay. And I think that's what Tara was different because she called it all the devil's music.
Bottom line,
Come on.
Robert, who's demonic? Who do you feel is demonic you got some issues with?
Well, I'm not going to call anyone demonic at this point because the show is just, you know, it's just coming into, you know, so I'm going to give them the benefit of doubt because Jesus wants us to not judge.
Right.
And definitely not off of what we know TV edits. So,
okay.
You know, but right now, just discerning, I'm a plead the fifth for now.
Okay, so do you feel that this is Christianity gone wrong or the reality of the church or neither? Plead the fifth.
I feel that Christianity may be going down a wrong path, but I don't know if it's wrong yet until I see more of the show.
All right,
yeah.
Christianity going down the wrong path. We ain't going to call it so wrong yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. You have to watch
we
it
will
yourself.
We will revisit this.
But we'll
Yes.
revisit, okay? We'll be back. Commercial break. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Yes Show.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you tell which of these children was not born free? Can you tell which of these children was not born equal? Can you tell which of these children does not deserve to be treated with dignity? We can't either. Human right number one. We are all born free and equal. What are human rights? Find out at youthforhumanrights.org.
There is really only one boy. One girl. One tree. One forest. One deep, dancing ocean. One mountain calling. One handful of sand through our fingers. One endless sky overhead. And one simple way to care for it all. Please visit earthshare.org and learn how the world's leading environmental groups are working together under one name, EarthShare. One environment, one simple way to care for it.
Welcome back. Now today we have a show dedicated to the actor. Here to discuss her journey of acting, we have talented and beautiful Candice Lenoir. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, Candice. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
By the way, I love it.
Thank you,
I love
ma'am.
yellow on you. Now, before we even get started, Candice, tell me when you first fell in love with acting.
Wow. Okay. honestly started when I was younger. I was in The Wizard of Oz.
Really?
Yes, I was in a play called The Wizard of Oz, and I remember being so nervous to go out and audition for it. I used to do like jazz, ballet, dance. Those things was like fun, never was nervous.
Right.
But this was the first time that I felt like butterflies actually moving in my stomach. So I would say that was probably the first time that I actually did something about it. But honestly, my mom used to watch shows like Mahogany and Ladies Sing the Blues. And I love those shows. Like, I love how it made me feel and everything. So I think those are the movies that made me fall in love with it, especially Ladies Sing the Blues.
Oh, with Diana Ross.
Absolutely,
Yes.
and Diana Ross was in Mahogany, so it
Yes.
was like I was a Diana Ross fan. And then doing The Wizard of Oz, it was something that was, you know, really in my heart. But I didn't pursue it right away because it was like, I'm not trying to do that starving acting bit.
Yeah, because you actually, and we know each other from where?
Florida
A&M
University.
But, you know, I knew Candace, and theater was not your major. Could you tell us what your major was?
Yes, I went to the School of Business Industry. I majored in marketing. That was my concentration. I received my MBA from Florida A&M University.
Wow.
And theater actually became my minor at FAMU. It actually started because when I first went to FAMU, was interesting. I went into the theater department and wanted to like double major or minor, but at that time, my business program required us to take 18 hours a semester. So I was like, I cannot do this in theater. Right. So it wasn't until I went on my internship, it was like my junior year, and it was compliance auditing. And I was just sitting there like, okay, am I gonna do this for the rest of my life? And the answer was no. So when I went back to FAM, I was like, I'm gonna take one theater course just to see how it was. But that semester, it was such a blessing because all of my business courses was closed. So then I took a lot of theater courses, and that's how it became my minor. And I absolutely loved it.
That's awesome.
Yes. And then later, when I moved to New York, I studied at a 2-year professional acting program.
So what is it that has been, because I know you've been doing it since, how long have you been in this career now?
Oh, well, I guess I count from when I finished the program. So I would say a good 6 years professionally, 6 to 7 years professionally.
Okay.
But been doing it off and on.
Off and on.
Yeah, for over 10 years.
What do you find to be your biggest struggle in pursuit?
Well, as we all know, this is a journey.
Yes,
It is not for the faint of the heart. If you don't love it, don't do it. If you're trying to get into it to get rich quick, don't do it.
Right.
But if you really love the art form, I find the struggle is balance. Because everything you do, you want it to be centered around acting.
Right.
But you need balance. You need to work a job so you can pay for your acting classes, your pictures, your seminars with casting directors.
Right.
So it's like finding that balance with life, your job, a job that you like, that could supply what you need, but also don't take up so much of your time and your mind space where you don't have the energy to create.
Right, because a lot of times we get so focused as an actor, well, I have to do this, have to do this. And if you're only focused on this, there is no balance. And then if you're not even relying on God to supplement, 100%. You know, 100% and not 50%, not 30%. Well, all right, God, I got you on Sunday and Bible study.
Exactly.
You know, do you find it being hard as a Christian in this career of acting?
You know, I don't see how people do it without having some form of faith. Like, honestly, I mean, I believe in Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior, but you hear so many no's. Things come up that you didn't even know you had issues with because you're faced with no's so much. So I don't see how people do it without, especially if you want to do it with a sober mind and not be hooked to drugs or alcohol or anything like that. So for me, I don't find a problem with it. I think some people feel that they can put on you what they think you should do because you're a Christian.
Absolutely.
Which I'm like, my relationship is between me and God. What I do is what I do, what I'm comfortable with, or what I feel, you know, my relationship with God, he's saying is okay. So I think sometimes people, you know, rather if you're in a church or if people in the world think you should only do certain things because you're a Christian, or you can't do that, or you should do this. And I'm like, my walk is my walk.
Have you always had a walk with God? And when did that begin? When did the road of meeting
I have, and I'm thankful for it. I mean, as a young girl, we used to go to church. I was baptized at an early age, but I would say in regards to my adulthood, when I lived in New York, is when my relationship with God really grew. I think at that particular time was because, you know, now you're really reading the word. You're not only going to church because mom said go to church. You know God and you pray. But like now it's like I'm reading the word, pastor is laying it out, I understand. I'm like, whoa. And then you become accountable for different things. Like sometimes I think you have a natural instinct not to do certain stuff, but then when you have the word that's supplying, this is what you're supposed to do, this is how you're supposed to live, or whatever, you become more accountable for that.
Absolutely. I agree. Now, do you, in this career, because a lot of people are like, well, gosh, you know, I don't want to date an actor, I don't want to do this. Is there a special person in your life, a Mr. Right or a Mr. Wrong?
Well, we ain't doing no Mr. Wrong.
I hear that.
But right now, as far as a Mr. Right, no. I believe God is working on whomever that person will be. So yeah, I mean, I would love to share.
But do you find it hard, like when you go out and about, because you're a beautiful woman, Candace, so
thanks,
when you meet these guys, like, are they turned off that you're an actor or that you're a Christian or anything like that?
I don't know, because, I mean, the first thing out my mouth isn't, I'm an actor, I'm a Christian or whatever. I think my walk will indicate that I am a believer. As far as an actor goes, in conversation, I'm I'm a year and a half into California. So everybody does it, so I don't know if it goes through their mind, oh, she's one of those or anything. I know for me, on the other end, when there's an actor, I'm kind of like, do I really want to date an actor? I don't know.
You don't know if you want to date an actor?
I don't know.
Well, you know what? What's funny, because I have some material of you from 12 Steps of Recovery, and you're actually playing the role of someone who doesn't want to date an actor.
I know.
And you're like corporate, and you know what? Actually, I could show you better than I could tell you. So if you guys could just go ahead and play her clip, I would love that.
What are we doing?
Look, if you got something to say, say it, all right?
It's over.
What?
It's over.
What, you breaking up with me?
You, Parrish, okay, you are a sweet guy. And we had a wonderful ride, and I really, really thought that I can get over the fact that I'm corporate and you're just the guy who wrote a jingle. I mean, for God's sake, you're an actor. You're not in my league. I guess it's too much for me to ask where you're going, right?
You want to know everywhere I'm going like you don't trust me. Is that it? If I knew marriage was going to be like this.
This is where I was today. I came here to talk to him. He pumps gas here. And after he pumped my gas, I just gave him $20 and I didn't even say a word.
I love it. I love it. That was kind of cold-blooded what you said to the fella at the front.
Yes.
Tell us about that 12 Steps to Recovery.
Oh, wow. 12 Steps to Recovery have been such a blessing. This is a web series that I started in New York a couple of years ago. Tony Clomax is the director, writer, and producer of it, along with Emily Stewart. It is about a jingle writer that his corporate girlfriend breaks his heart, which is who mine played by Cheryl Woodson is the character's name. And his friends sets him up on 12 blind dates to get him back into dating and back into the world. It's a lot of fun. It's a romantic comedy. As you go through the web series, you'll definitely see where all that jazz that I was talking at the beginning, I'm like, but I love you and I want you back. Like, so, you know, you realize you're wrong, because sometimes people don't look right on paper, or they look right on paper. But as far as how you and that person interact, you know, it can be different. And Cheryl realizes that in it. So the web series has been wonderful. We've gotten a lot of looks, a lot of festivals. We was an ABFF web series festival last year. We're now on Punch TV, so we've been getting a lot of good things going on with 12 Steps to Recovery.
Now, but what are your personal goals? Like, what do you want to see? What do you want Candace to be at the epitome of her career?
Oh, wow. At
the pinnacle, the very top.
The top. Okay. because acting is my love, I would love to be choosing scripts that I play in. Right now, we have some wonderful African American women that are on primetime shows like Scandal. Would love
Scandal,
to have a show like that.
Yes, Shonda Rhimes, Kerry Washington, get it.
You got Megan Good in
Megan
Deception,
Good, yep.
Taraji P. Henson out there. So it's a lot of wonderful things. So I would love to be able to choose TV projects that I have along with film projects, but also at the top of everything, I have my own production company, and I am producing films that I believe in. Like, for instance, I do a lot of, I've line produced or assistant directed on different projects.
Great.
And I like projects that deals with real life, real stories about a person walk or their journey,
right.
how they're getting to one place from one place to the next. So my production company will produce films like that. Of course, some of those I will starring in,
absolutely,
exactly.
and I'll be in, right?
Too, you know. I write, I co-write with a friend of mine. Her name is.
Oh, what's her name?
Her name is Squeaky Moore.
Wow,
and she's in New York.
Candace, you're just everywhere. You have your MBA. You're beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
You're talented. We saw that from your reel. You have experience in the backside of entertainment. You're going to make it. I just pray that you have the patience that God is going to give you. Do you have any last words for your viewers?
Well, I want to say first, thank you for having me on the show. I think this is absolutely wonderful, and you are fit for it. I thank for everyone that tunes in to watch 12 Steps to Recovery, or even Hey Diddle Diddle, the film I line produced and acted in as well. And just stick with me. It's a journey, but I'm here, and I'm here for the long run. So I appreciate everyone that hits me up, Facebook, Twitter, all of that kind of stuff. So just thank you all, and praise God.
And she could be reached at Candice Lenoir at Twitter. That's there, as well as her website, CandiceLenoir.com. Show that lower third. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Candice, for being here. I love you.
I love you.
All right, and you guys, I love y'all too. Well, maybe not all y'all. No, I'm playing. But I'll be seeing you guys again. Yes? Yes. Have a blessed day, and remember to use your gift to glorify God.
Amen.
Bye.